Hey, love, what's up, beloved? This is your boy OJG, Dadda, coming back at you with part 3 episode of Caring for My Father. And I mean, literally, physically, actively caring for my father. And one of the reasons why I'm doing these videos is because I want the world out there to know that people like us do exist. And I've seen and heard the stories of how families abandon their loved ones simply because they don't want their responsibilities. They don't really care for them, so they just left them out there to die. But people like us are not like that. People like us love our families, will do anything for families. And there is no limitation to how far of a distance we will go for our families. I mean, we cook, we feed them. They poop, they puke, we clean them. Bathe them, care for them like a child, and by all means necessary, find ways to make them as comfortable as possible. And I've been to these places which I call the slaughterhouses, hospitals, nursing homes, and see how abusive they are to these people. Slapping them around, ignoring them simply because they think they have attitudes, leaving them in their wet clothes until their bodies are covered with sores. And I've been to the hospital and see how they treated them there. Laying around on wooden benches, sitting around in broken wheelchair, leaning over, sleeping on the floor. Some of them even died right there on the floor with no one to care for them. Well, I don't want that for my father. I don't want that for me. And I'm sure neither of you want that for you either. And this is the point to where I'm at in telling my story. You see, when my father first got sick and I took him to the hospital, they kept him in quarantine where nobody could go see him. About a month later, when they released him from the hospital, he had sores all over him. Testicles all red, swollen bigger than his head. They left him in his wet, dirty pampas until his butt and his nutsack was all covered in sores. Can't walk, couldn't talk. He just kept mourning because he was in so much pain. And he had the diarrhea. I mean, he was going through a pack of Pampers per day. I have to put 2 of them together, lay them out, let him lay on them openly. Yeah? Just so that air could get to his wound. At one point, his diarrhea seemed uncontrollable. So I'm cleaning him, so it kept flowing. But as for me, that was an experience though that I will never forget. And as for those who don't know, now they know what I've been through caring for my father. I mean, that man was going through so much that the slightest touch would cause him excruciating pain. Yeah, I had to call a doctor on home visit to come to the house to extract fluid from his nutsack. That's how bad it was. The doctor said if I had waited a bit longer, it could have been fatal. But all praise is due to love the Almighty God within us. Together we fought to this point where there is no more pain. Yeah, man. And there were times when people would say to me, hey, yo, no worry, man. I feel him time. I live him life already. I'm all right. And I remember calling one of my friend on the phone, and it was like, hey, yo, I go on. I see the call, you know. And say, I must call. Need I call me if you tell me, say, him father dead. I say, nah, man. Call me, I call if you tell me, say, him all right, him I do good. And you see, with all that saying, hoping, and praying my father did, I refused to accept that. And he kept refusing to give up. Why? Because my father is a fighter. He came up swinging and then I got down swinging. And with no further ado, I give great honor and enough respect to my sister Pauline, aka Pam, for her love and for her contribution support. Because if it wasn't for her, I don't know where we will be today. She ain't got much, but with the little she have, she never stopped giving what she can and when she can. I give honor to my brother Leslie, to my niece Cadian for their love and their contribution support. I give honor to Renee, and to all those that contributed their love and their support. I give honor to Hava, to Earl, to my neighbor Richard, and to the entire Catronall CDC support team who have been so supportive to me since day one. And last but not least, I give honor and great respect to Punky Andre for his patience, his understanding, and for his all-time support. That's how I love. But my advice to those out there, though, is that if you should have someone in your family in a similar situation, don't give up on them. And if you think it's a little bit too overwhelming for you alone to bear, don't worry, seek help, and I promise you will find help. Because there are good people out there who care. Always have the courage to go to others and ask for the help that you need. And try to find in yourself the will and the courage to care for those who are unable to care for themselves. Because we never know when we might reach into that situation and in need of someone else's care. See, when we were born in someone else's care. Yeah? And as we get older, we're definitely going to need someone else's care. And as the old saying goes, once a man, twice a child. And everything is just for a while. This life changes, baby. And that's what it is. And I said all that to say this here. Love your family, man. Take care of your family. By all means necessary, do whatever you can in your power to care for them. And don't worry about nobody. Because it's not everything you said people going to like. It's not everything you do people going to like. As a fact, because of pride, some people are going to hate you, cut you off, give up on you. Simply because you're being you, doing what you do. But don't worry about that. I've heard the stories of our families give up their jobs to go home and take care of their families, their loved ones. Families lose all their belongings, financially caring for their loved ones. And it's all out of love, baby. And I've said in previous chapter that I used to operate a small grocery store in my community. And when my father got sick and became bedridden, I've lost everything, focusing and caring for him. You know? And today, I'm so broke, I can hardly help myself. I can hardly go on. I can hardly sustain. But I will survive. And this is why I'm seeking public's help. I'm asking for public support. And for those of you who would like to support me, to contribute to my program, and would like to make a small donation, no matter how small it is, if it's even $1, it will be greatly appreciated. Please feel free to do so by using the PayPal link in the description below. And I want to thank all of you for taking your precious time out to listen to my story, liking my story, sharing my story. And I ask you to continue liking my story and sharing my story. And if you are still watching to this point, please do me a favor. Subscribe to my channel. And also, if you think that I'm doing a good job being there, caring for my father, while setting the stage of motivation, setting the stage of encouragement, encouraging others to do likewise. Drop me a comment, let me know, and please continue to like my story, share my story, and continue to follow me. as I continue onto this journey on family values, how to care for families, our loved ones, and how to help each other, how to do for others as we would like others to do for us, and to care for those who are able to do for themselves, and how to actively live the part of the song that says, please swallow your pride. If I have things you need to borrow, for no one can feel those of your needs that you only had show. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. And like I said, most of us who sing that song never actively live that song. Interesting? Stick around, and I'll see you when I come back around on the next go round. Until then, love, love. Be good, beloved. Take care of yourself, take care of your family, and try your best to love and give an helping hand to those who are in need and those who seek after your help. And I'll see you in the next chapter on family values. Love, 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 love.